Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 25th annual Derby City here at Caesars. We've had an amazing tournament so far. Some crazy comebacks, some hill-to-hill, and definitely world-class pool. But I also want to say we've had some amazing fans here at Derby City. Don't you all love pool? They love it. We've witnessed some great stuff. And ladies and gentlemen, we started with 16 of the greatest players on the planet, and we are down to just 2. And it's about time to find out who's going to be the brand new Bigfoot Challenge champion, all brought to you by Diamond. You ready to meet the players? Here we go. First up, he's a U.S. Open champion, world 9-ball champion, and 6-time Moscone Cup player for Team Europe. He's sponsored by How, Tip, Predator, Handy Cloth, and Apex Tables. He defeated Mieszko Fortunski in round 1, John Morra in the quarterfinals, and Fedor Gorst last round. He's from Bunnen, Germany, the killer, Joshua FILLER. And his opponent is a China Open champion, the Derby City 9-ball champion. He's sponsored by Vinny Q's and ATG Company. He's defeated Shane Van Boening in round 1, Roberto Gomez in the quarterfinals, and Konrad Juszczyszyn last round. From Davao City in the Philippines, the Slayer, VANN CORTEZA. Our referee for the championship is Ricky Bryant, and sending it up to the ACCUSTATS skybox.
Yes, Derek, all of us love pool, and we are all here to witness pool history with ACCUSTATS coverage of the finals for the 2024 Bigfoot Challenge. Jeremy Jones is alongside me, Mark Wilson, and Jeremy. What should we look for with our players?
Well, I was thinking about it, and I think, VANN isn't going to get the power into the break like Josh, so I think he's got to be effective with the break he's going to bring. And he started to do that a little bit more in the last match in the semifinal. And I think for Josh, and one thing all of us are overlooking sometimes is he's winning a lot of games these days with kick shots and moving and making incredible shots other than knocking the ball in. And I think VANN may test him in that a little bit if it comes about, and Josh is not going to give up on it.
We all know the firepower of FILLER, but the consistency rate of Corteza. I mean, he took down Shane Van Boening, and hardly anybody else in the world would have beat Shane that set because Shane did not play bad. It's just that every opportunity that VANN got, he captured.
Well, I think no coincidence the one match he struggled here was against a real good friend and countryman late in the evening. Everything else has been, 900 or above or right at it. That's better. The 5-ball down. Watch out. Cue ball. That one hurts because he did hit the rack pretty well.
Yeah, it just limped into the pocket. It didn't like dart back there or anything. It wasn't like a grotesque mishit.
Yeah. And it just is easier work if you're making more balls on the break. More often you get a shot, not as many blockers. Oh, he miscued on the first shot.
Well, why would you use draw? Well, you have ball in hand. You could come out on top. You could come around this way. I mean, I don't even understand drawing that one.
Me either, especially because he's just trying to get to the center to pull the cue ball 2 rails in between the 7-8 and around by the 6 for the 3. So it wasn't like there wasn't many ways to get there. Is he just going for the cut here on the 3? Just get where he can? Oh, what a stroke.
Pretty shot.
He just wanted to show us one, Mark.
Yep. Well, he got right where he needed to be. Now he can fall on the 4 pretty easily into the side pocket.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, if you quiver, I don't care what size table you're on that shot he just had on the 2 ball, it can get real ugly. And you always talk about great players and, what their careers are about and how well they do. And the one common denominator between the ones that are the real elite is when they get to the final, right? They just don't lose a whole lot of finals. I think Earl was like that. Siegel was like that. Effernet took a little bit, but then once he got over it, he was really like that. And we see that, I think, with this guy as well.
Josh's wife, Pia, plays at a high level, but a much different style. She's not the shot maker, but boy, she got some fight in her, and she's really making some inroads in the Pro Women's Tour.
Well, when it comes to effort, they're very similar. I'll tell you that, and goes a long ways, no matter really the technique or.
She won some matches at the International Open this year, so.
She's qualified in the World 9-Ball Tour for the final 64 in an event or two. So I think the World Championships once, maybe.
Yeah. Well, she trains with a pretty tough opponent every day, so
yeah.
I guess so. 1-0 is our score.
Yeah, the miscue created a little early drama, but he covered that up with one heck of a 2-ball.
You know, a lot of times people at home would say, well, who's Mark Wilson think he is, criticizing Joshua Filler? And I would be reluctant if it wasn't egregious. But there, you could have set it up on either side and got to the same place he was going to draw to anyway.
Yeah, and, you know, we talked about it the other day anyways. You know, if you can stay away from draw with ball in hand, just if you had to shoot it, you know, 100,000 times, you'd see the difference versus follow or a little stun right there. But just a long-term kind of thing.
Okay, you mentioned his break. Let's see what he does here. 2 in the 4-ball right behind the 1. Okay, neither one found the range.
Yeah, they were going long
Unless
early.
the 4 drips in there, nothing.
Yeah, they were going long early. So, but what he did, when he did break his best, he settled it down a little bit against Fedor. Not a lot, just a touch. I think he wants to bank this in. That's why he's looking at just the line right here.
He can settle the cue ball over on the long rail, and while it's not a perfect safety, it can make, you know, pocketing the 1 if you miss it. If it goes up along the long rail, a tough shot and hard to get on the 2. He banked it, stiffened it too much.
Wow.
Tucked the cue ball away. This is one of these, if you hit it, you scratch behind it a lot.
Yeah, I think if he wasn't lefty, he may go off the short rail with some speed, because if you do hit it, you're very unlikely to scratch.
It's just so darn deep in there. If you go this way, a scratch is a 50-50 proposition.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Instead of the short rail where his bridge is, in between the 2-3.
What a hit. What a hit.
And it's what I was talking about earlier. I mean, he's really come a long ways with his kicking game. And, you know, I think if he just keeps attempting whatever he sees and keep on keeping on, he's probably going to end up one of the best kickers in the game.
You make a very astute assessment, because I've watched him for a number of years now, and that was the element that was maybe a little bit missing, and he used to overcome it just with sheer firepower, but now he's got much more well-rounded, and like you said, his kicks with speed and spin and understanding the sport now.
Yeah, and what would happen before is he would still attempt at first, you know, to kick correct or try to have the speed or do something. But if it didn't work, he would go to just kicking at it hard and hoping for luck. And you just can't give in on what you feel is best.
Boy, look at this stretch.
Yeah, trying to use the 8 here. Oh, what's the touch like? Wow, I thought he made it.
He overcut it even. That was pretty thin, too.
So little things here early for what you would consider a mild underdog here in this match.
He's asking for something.
The
bridge. Okay,
yeah.
The bridge. My bad.
Yeah, no behind the back from here, Mark.
No. Well, Chamberlain may have a hard time. Now look at how elevated his cue is. You don't see that with the bridge very often by top flight bridge players.
Yeah, he kind of has that with his regular, you know what I mean, to where he comes down on the ball a little bit. So he has that hand up in the air.
Yeah.
So
a very artistic kind of feely player. You know, it's not necessarily technically correct, but he's did it for so long, he makes it work properly.
Yeah, and this rack here and this shot will deceive you. Pretty, you know, needs to get somewhat decent on the 5 to make getting on the 6 easy. His speed looks pretty good to me. Needs a little bounce to be comfortable. Should be okay.
Yeah.
Soft 2 rails across. No scratch in the side there. I think that's another gray area right there where the 5x10 gives you a little more space to go with the top ball.
Good shot. Got a lot out of the cue ball there without having to use side spin to enhance the accuracy of the target being acquired there by his object ball. I thought maybe he pace that up and go back across the table, play the 6, but this was clearly the way to go if you can get here.
Yeah, if you can stay around medium, a little less, a little more, I think that's when I see Lee Van really play. And a lot of players really play some of their best. Tricky here still, though. 8 to the 9. The 9's on the spot, so the second rail past the side, not that great. May have to shoot from a little distance on the 9. We'll see. Is he going to set up to follow 2 rails near that side? That would help things. I think that's what he's setting up, top and side on the 8. Yeah, the shallow angle, you would guess that anyways.
Little high left spin.
Yeah, getting a lot out of the cue ball. Good signs for Lee Van.
Yeah, real good job there. Can't take these for granted because this is a 5x10 with small pockets. 9-footer, it's a much easier proposition. And this is what we've seen all week. He's got that little extra consistency rate this year. He always was very technically sound, but sometimes a game like that would escape him right at the end. And quickly, 1-1 is our score. This is a race to 10.
Race to 10. I thank our main sponsors, and that is Simona's Billiards Cloth. Also, Airman, Belgian Billiard Ball, Masters Chalk, and of course, Diamond. VANN Corteza will be breaking in rack 3.
Yeah, man, the crowd really packed for this final. Lots of big matches going on for some possible master of the table champions here in 2024, and the bank's getting deep, one pocket, maybe the second or third round.
Cue ball got loose. The 9 ball found the side pocket. Is he going to get a shot on the 1? Maybe. The answer is I don't think so. Maybe a bank?
I think he can spin it, Mark. I think he can slowly put a little right here. He's got to push through with the cue ball. He might rub the 2 a little bit and get steep. May bank it, though, like you said. Did you notice he put a little more into it with the open bridge there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the cue ball was bouncing, got back behind the side pocket. He did slightly miss-hit the head ball.
Lee Van wants to. Ricky just saying this will be a little close. The 2 will go up, though, so no question.
Okay, good shot.
And this is okay. He can track this around. Now, he may end up a little steep on the 3, but he can go 1 rail behind the 410 to the short cushion and then come on to the other long cushion here near the 3. I wonder if the 3 passes the 7 where he's playing the 2 right now, Mark. All right, he's going to try and kill it 1 rail between the 4-7, I guess.
Just filter it on down.
Oh, yeah, that would
perfect.
I thought it was much more difficult.
But he did have to manufacture that.
Oh, yeah, no, that was a
spin.
sweet stroke.
Yeah.
But what I meant is I didn't know that was available, really. I thought he had to let it go a little bit. Now he just draws into the 7. You never want to just take a chance. Go ahead and just move it a little bit.
4 balls right by his bridge hand. Sweet.
Yeah, and he's kind of taking his time, right? Putting Filler in the chair just a little bit longer than maybe normal. Taking dead aim too, right? I mean, really down on the ball.
Yeah, if it's possible to work even harder than he has all week, I think maybe. He's been just on the spot every time.
Yeah, don't mess with the 8. You can handle some angle on the 7 and work the cue ball a little bit, just like really good. And he's just kind of rolling it into shape. So, good, like I said, good signs for Levan here early, because he's going to have to play a good match to win. And you wouldn't figure it's going to be in the low 800s or high 700s in this final.
Looks like he has just a hint of the right angle, just about perfect. Now he can just roll it or stun to the head. Looks like a roll shot. This would be a high quality break and run out. And a 2-1 lead for VANN CORTEZA.
And it's his first lead.
Some 2 lead changes here early. Filler with the first and Levan 2 in a row.
Filler will have the break.
Let's see if maybe Filler takes a hair's speed off. So he changed, I think, a little bit on the break position. So look more for the 6, I think, from here.
Did you say the 6 ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you put it right there off. It favors that same side a little bit more than the other one.
That was joking. It went right straight in.
Yeah, 4-10 combo looks pretty nice. I know the run out looks good as well, but it is an option. Pretty straight here. So I think he draws back to the rail and kind of plays from where he falls on the 3. The 4 goes on the opposite side as well. I don't know if he's going to rip this to try and get to the center of the table off one rail. No, he's going to get straight, so he's going to draw back, trying to clear the table.
Pretty. Man, he gets a lot of effortless draw.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that are good, right? When the setup, like him and Fedor, everything's set up very straight. So you're just going to get a little more energy out of the stroke and the cue itself, I think, when everything's just flowing on a straight line so well. And again, his timing and everything is really good as well.
Another pretty shot there that was played to have the cue ball clatter off of 2 object balls, secondary object balls, after pocketing the primary object ball.
All right, a little flat, so 8's out from the rail quite a bit, so this is where you may play a little different than from above. You may play a little behind it. Most would still play from above if you can, comfortably.
That means just back it up a foot? Oh, no, he's just, okay. Well, he's going to stun it over then.
Yeah, especially on the 10-footer, I think. 9-footer a little different, I think. But this shot opens up a little more when the 8 gets a diamond out from the side rail. And you don't have to worry about overcooking it if you draw back trying to get above it. And again, Filler don't mind. He settles for where it's at a lot also, so it all kind of makes sense for him.
Just bounce out and play the 10 on the side, I guess.
He might go 2 here for the corner, knowing him. No, he's going to come out. It's like a straight pool, man. If you ever really got to watch him play the straight pool, it's really, really fun to watch.
And nice break and run out there. Ties their score at 2 games apiece.
We've already got a great match underway. 2-2 heading into rack 5.
So our TPA is 952 for Filler. 1 mistake. 2 errors for Corteza, 905. Pretty similar on the balls pocketed. So no late mistakes or really just totally unforced errors.
Yeah, this is great stuff here. 5x10, 4 1/4 inch pockets, perfect conditions, great balls. Nice lighting.
And the setting itself with the fans and everything, it's just very special, this tournament, this place. You notice
tracking?
Yeah.
No.
You notice Lee Van broke from the left a little bit. 8 went in, the one on this side. That's why the center sometimes, if you're struggling with one, not making either, just go from the center and give them both really a good chance. I mean, Efren used to make those so often. He'd draw the cue ball straight back to the end rail and come straight back to the center of the table. All right, our first kind of push out, correct?
Yes.
All right, the 2's way down table, so you do have a little more options up table, which I kind of suggest. Otherwise, you're going to probably get snookered. And maybe a bad one. Yeah, I might have rolled out long and straight in, Mark, near that 2 ball. It's hard to think he's going to get this back. Would you play it thin inside the 9? Or try to go?
Yes, and try to get the 6 down on the end rail. Yes, I would. And try to use it behind the 5 this way.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the push out. I mean,
it was too soft of a push out, frankly, for this level of play.
Yeah.
You're never getting it back, and you're always going to get the worst of it unless he makes a terrible mistake.
Yeah, no. Lee Van, he's not afraid to kick. That's another reason why some of those push outs, I think, really depends on that. Oh, he hit it with more speed. It wasn't that bad to kick behind it 2 rails.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Josh not afraid of a 2-way either. I think this is a little bit thin on the bank. He's looking at the cut. Can he go 4 rails? Wow, right between the 3-5 on the 4th rail. What?
I don't know about that.
He's putting him behind the 2. Well, that's what he looked at first.
Yeah.
He looked at the cut.
Okay, Lee Van will be able to hit the 1. Or at least easily kick it if he has to.
Yeah, I think he can see all of it. What do you do, though? It's pretty touchy.
Nothing's going to be secure 100%. You're going to have to take a little gamble on this one.
Yeah, what's the gamble, though? This is ugly. Oh, he's kicking. Maybe he's snookered then.
Maybe that's the best path out, too. Maybe he can see. Oh, he can hit it. Okay.
This guy.
Not quite, but a great effort.
Yeah, and I think he was playing the double ticky off of that and just try to get a snooker.
I do, too. I thought he might play the 1 off the 4 and just come forward and try to get under the clutter, but I didn't have time to bring it out. But yeah, his shot was okay, too. Everything was a gamble there. You were not for sure going to get him.
And Josh setting up to play the 3 to get short side on the 4. If he ends up too short and he can't hold it, I think he's okay, though. He would play the combo. This shot here, it's easy to let up a little bit because you're worried about the speed, but you want the draw to grab. Yeah, like that. So good at that, right?
Mm-hmm. That's for that extreme low. I mean, most people are reluctant to go there, and he miscued with it on the very first shot of the match, but neither here nor there. You have to be able to get your tip down there to get the cue ball to go to the places that the elite pros get it to go. Otherwise, it's like running an ankle weights and you're trying to run a race. If you can't get to the outside edge of the ball comfortably, you're not going to be able to play with these guys.
Yeah, and there's a lot more shots than just straight low, really. There's shots getting past the side because you want the effect to happen immediately, to grab. So
the stun draw, stun forward.
Yeah, even on thin cuts with low outside and stuff like that, you can't. The equator ain't going to do it, or a little below.
Elite players can use more of the cue ball than crude players.
Yeah. All right. Looks pretty natural.
Oh, yeah, he set it up perfect. Those 2 rails right at the 9. His speed is good because he's hitting the pockets up here every time.
Yeah, and that stun right there is important because the 10-footer, if he doesn't, he can't reach it. And he's got to shoot it with an extension or a bridge. Don't think opposite-handed for Josh too much.
You're so right. You get a little out of line on this, it extracts a toll because the table's basically 35% more difficult than a 9-footer. And when you're in line, it doesn't show up very much. But you get a little out of line, it comes about real quick what you got going on here. 909 TPA, 967 for filler.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what happens when you're playing this 10-footer. Your first match, you shoot at least one shot probably that you didn't think about the stretch, and then you're like, okay, little alarm clock went off. Because I've seen a lot of the players, oh, okay, yeah, I can't reach it. I thought I could.
Yeah. Combined errors in this is 3 total errors, and we played 5 games. That's, well, world-class elite.
I tell you, that's another thing. I know through the years there's been so many great ones, but the last couple of years of big tournament finals have been just incredible matches. One reason or another. Well, see, they took a little pace off. 3-railer, 3-ball, long.
The 2-ball did not come out at all that time. You called the 6-ball there last time. It
wow.
didn't come out. It went straight across.
Well, that's usually the rack then. Remember, I matched earlier. Yeah. I think it was Fortunski we were talking about when he was breaking. And that.
Here, look at it. Yeah. See where the 2 went?
Yeah, that means the rack was off a little bit. Because you can tell Josh is really bewildered there because he loved the way he hit him.
He's shaking his head side to side as if he knows something wasn't quite right there.
Is the 1-9 not dead here for the kick? I mean, it looks like it was really good.
Oh, he overdrew it.
Might go in. Might go in.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cover here. How do you kick it this one?
This is going to be a tough one.
If he could reach, well, no, he can't. I don't know. Can he stiff it between the 2 and 3? Can he get to this long rail by the 3? Oh, he can see it. So he's going to shave it and try and run the cue ball. That's all he could do.
And that was rail first, so he couldn't see it directly.
Look at this shot. Look at this shot.
Wow.
And if you don't think he was playing that, just reflect back at the calm speed he hit that ball with. He just didn't hit it in hope. That was definitely by design. All right, he's got a path between the 310. He needs to dive it down, go about the first diamond above the side.
Yeah, there's not a lot. English. Sitting right on the line. This will be pretty.
Let it grab. There you go.
Great shot. Our audience recognizes a great shot. And there you go. Tremendous.
Well, we were hoping for some of this, I think. I know you and I were. I'm sure the fans, but the response sounds the same. He's going to run it between the 6-7 here.
I think he's trying to bang it into the 8, isn't he? Then it? Yeah, and come around. That way he could hold the 1. Look at this.
I thought he might go tight of the 5. You know, the same shot, but go tight of the 5 maybe. But this was much less risky.
Wow. Nice exchange going back and forth here.
Does he have a piece?
I think he can rub the edge. No, he's kicking.
Might make this.
Okay, Josh has earned the first opening here.
Really awkward for the lefty.
It was a funny exchange, too, because Josh played the rail first on the 1 to get the cue ball tucked away. Then VANN made a nice kick, 3 rails. So took 3 or 4 shots for Josh's good opening safety to actually bear fruit.
Well, that's kind of, what we discussed. Don't give up on it. Not only on the kicking end, but sometimes you can get frustrated when the guy keeps kicking out of it on you. And you can maybe try to get too much out of something, maybe go for a little bit of a shot you shouldn't have, excuse me. But, yeah, he's really just a complete player now. How's the speed? Perfect. As he stun across the top of it, trying to get that nice angle to come just off the long rail back for the 8. Does he come back a little to run the ball? He was trying to come across and he let up. You could see the smile, a little wry smile he had on his face. Didn't like that stroke.
Might have to play short side here.
Yeah, good call. And don't dodge it when it's there. Don't force it, right? Short side's not that bad on a 10-footer anyways. You have a little more room usually.
This requires a lot of left because you can't stun into the corner very easily from there. Oh, he's drawing. Okay.
He's going to hook it.
Off the 10. Look out.
No.
Trouble. Big trouble. Yeah, big trouble.
Wow.
Whew. Once he hit that 10, it was off to the races. He was never getting shape. It was just a matter if he didn't scratch, it was going to be all the way halfway back down the table.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get lucky and bobble the pocket and stay there for somewhat of a shot.
Wow, that was a big turnaround there.
Yeah, and I'm really shocked because he's been so good. Even when he does make a little bit of a mistake, regrouping and coming with a real good percentage. I loved what you said about the short side. You're never really going to have something too bad wrong, go wrong.
Yeah. That ties our score at 3 games.
After 6 games, we're all tied up once again. Going into a rack 7.
That whole rack started off wrong for Josh. He hit him good. 2 ball didn't come out of there very good.
Boy, they sure made some nice safety exchanges, I'll tell you that. And he had every ball pure, and when he didn't get what he wanted off the 6, just felt funny.
The harder you hit it, the longer it slides before the draw can catch.
Yeah, for sure. And I thought he was going to just pull it like low left and slow pull it into short side. He was trying to go back and forth to the short pocket for the 8. That's what allowed him.
It's a beautiful shot on TV when you hit it, but it wasn't there was the problem.
Yeah.
Once it hit that 10-ball, holy moly, it took off. It's like a dragster shifting gears there.
And it's amazing, not always, but more often than you would think. It does find that pocket. It's just, it's amazing how sports are, really. Especially pool. 5 ball.
Oh, kissed out.
Cue ball again.
Oh, ugly. I didn't see how it kissed, but we'll probably get a break replay.
I think it just got shaved from just out of the peripheral of my eye. I was looking at the ball coming at the side.
Yeah, I was too.
Man.
Here's our premium billiards replay.
Yeah, just shaved right
oh, he's
there,
kind of stopped the 7.
The ball he made.
Golly. Lee Van gives a little foot kick there.
Man, after a big mistake, you know, what could be better than ball in hand to be able to forget about it? Huge. Huge kiss there. Uh-oh. This is hot. Over to 5 now. A little awkward. Yeah, just simple. Just go between the 4-5, really. I think, anyways. Oh, he's coming the other way. He's going to catch a piece of the 3.
Ooh, this didn't play easy.
Yeah. May have to do something kind of fancy here.
Might have to have the well, he's left-handed. Maybe not. Okay.
That's what I say, a little masse. Bend it to that side. Oh, he tried to hold it.
Now,
the 4 doesn't go, though, right?
No, I think he was trying to draw it all the way back and let up on the stroke a little bit.
Oh.
That's a tough combination to play position for. I think what happened, when you hit down, now the cue ball doesn't have the giddy up that it normally does, and it takes a little while. It's like it's bouncing lightly.
It's like a bowling ball, right? Like it's harder surface to get away, right? Because you're hitting down like that.
Uh-huh. And it certainly takes a lot of speed out of there. He might just go all out. Nope. Smart. How's his speed?
Well, look at the stun he played behind the 10, though. I mean, the line on the 4, you know, that's not easy. But all of us can kind of get that down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But the slow stun to the perfect position with the cue ball, how impressive is that? I mean, how do you
really, that's a replay type of hit. You know,
sure is. I mean, yeah.
You see a lot of great shots. That was one of them.
Yeah,
just wasn't offensive.
He regrouped better there, right? After, making a mistake with ball in hand.
So many of us, compound it and make one shot and make it yet another bad shot.
This is going to slide. I don't mind it, but it just wasn't there at the angle he was at.
Light kicks to the middle of the table, balls like that, rarely ever turn out good.
Yeah.
Rarely. If it's right up by the rail, okay. Well, even if he got it, you could let him set it up with ball in hand, what he was dreaming of. He wouldn't have liked it.
Got to go a little to make it easy. Yeah, he's okay. Because you'd like to be. I'm surprised he didn't draw past the 5 right there where he could roll down. Because getting nice on the 6 is a little important. But again, it's on preference, and there is no more preference than ball in hand.
I always tell players, if you don't know how the easiest way to get somewhere with ball in hand, then you really don't know how to play position.
Mm-hmm.
People don't respect it, and they think ball in hand's easy, and it's quite the opposite. Learning to use it effectively and efficiently like these guys do.
Yeah, and position comes a lot of times once you start to really develop your stroke, because then you start to play position for that stroke you like a lot, that medium-ish or whatever it may be, draw a little bit and follow a little bit.
All right, 4-3.
One game, 4-3. After 7, heading into rack 8. Into the killer filler with the break.
What was so impressive today was when Filler played Gorst, and it was just toe-to-toe, and it's hard to play your game against another great guy that's playing great. It's hard to maintain that. Usually one guy just breaks free and just overwhelms and snowballs the other guy. They both played 9-0-4, and Gorst lost 10-9. I mean, it was every bit that match.
It was crazy, 8-4 down. Yeah, I agree with him here on the rack. Because I did not like the way that second ball shot straight to the side rail the last time Filler broke. That is not normal. Even if you hit him really poorly, it's not going to do that usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, as 8-4 down, Gorst, of course, never giving up. Made a few mistakes, few ones that we don't see from him that often. But got his bearings straight and played pretty incredibly to come back and get the lead at 9-8. And then, you know, a little drama there at the end with the foul, but that happens. You don't like that one either. It says no good.
Hey, we're running out of racks here, Chief.
You got one that's still in the package for Josh Filler? Oh, I see that stroke. I don't have to see that face to see that stroke. That was John Gabriel over there in that beanie cap.
Oh, you're looking out there. Okay.
Well, what a talent. Oh, my gosh. I've always thought he was one of the most talented guys I'd ever been around in pool.
Tulsa John.
Yeah. And another one that has a real straight stroke.
Well, we got quite a few texts coming in, but one from the Kentucky Colonel himself who says he wants to be able to do a broadcast here. So,
well, he could do a broadcast anywhere, that guy.
Yeah, he would not welcome him.
All right, 3 ball down, 1 ball tracking perfectly. The 7's clearing. This looks pretty good. Probably, I mean, this worked. It's 5 by 10, but the first shot is awkward as any. But the 4 there sets up the 5 nicely. Stretching for the lefty and not a lot of angle. The good thing is he can handle long and straight on the 2, right? Because the 4 is over the side. So if he happens to overhit this, don't be short. That's the key.
Real good with the speed. Usually with that extension, didn't you say they tend to underhit him a little bit?
Yeah.
Because you're stretched and sometimes you don't get your tip as close to the cue ball. Your timing's off.
Well, the good thing for Josh is he doesn't apply a ton of side spin on most shots. He does apply side spin almost every shot, really, but it's just a little pinch a lot of times. So he's pretty comfortable, I think, with that extra weight on the cue. Really wanting to hold his ball there and not have to move the cue ball off this 5.
Yeah, he did a good job there.
And those are little things that a lot of us overlook.
If it runs another 3 inches, now you got to work that cue ball around.
Yeah, you got to think of the 10. You got to think of the 8 as you're coming up with the cue ball. You don't want to get jacked up over the 8.
And then you're not as close, and then you're not as much on the angle, and then you have to fight through 2 or 3 of them, or what he did. Made the rest of the rack play far easier if you can hit that shot good.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Mark. That's the biggest part of it, really. Looks like he's going to draw up the side rail. Maybe not. I think so. Was Buddy Hall the greatest ever at drawing up the side rail like that from an angle, huh? And some of the ones he could do were just really kind of out of this world in my mind.
Well, he was for sure all-time legend. He could do anything.
Well, like the man you just mentioned, probably gets overlooked for how many great shots he could come with as far as coming with the shot. Nick Varner. So Buddy Hall was the same. They had such great cue balls, but when the pressure was on and it was a big shot, they could knock it in as well.
And a great attitude. Nick looked at it as an opportunity, like, I wonder if I could possibly make this. That would be fun. Where other guys view it with trepidation and nerves.
Yep. Well, nice out here after a really awesome break. Probably no coincidence trying to get a little more fresh rack there for an outfield.
Very, very nice.
Boys keeping it up there, 9:47. 2-game lead, halfway to that final of 10 games.
At the International Open, you didn't get to come, but Mike Siegel was there. We were talking about finals and how many he won. And he was readily to admit that he almost never lost it once he got to the finals. But the guys he lost to, Buddy Hall. Mm-hmm. He said it right out. That's the guy that beat me in the finals.
Well, I'll tell you, if they had the template back in the day, I don't know how many people would have won besides Buddy. And, you know, like I think that was the one thing, and at certain times maybe if he had long days in some tournaments, you know what I mean, he still played great, but the break would still get him a little bit here and there. But there was a Texas Open where they were playing one on the spot. And, one of my favorites, and of course one of your all-time favorites, Justin Bergman, I think he ran 8 and out in the tournament in one of the matches, which is incredible. And, you know, they asked me when's the last time I saw an 8 in a tournament or whatever, and I just couldn't answer really. But I told him if Buddy Hall had that template right there with the one on the spot and, you know, 4.5-inch pockets, he would have seen a lot of 8s. If he just had to repeat the stroke, you know, basically.
Wood Rack, big tournaments, pro tournaments, Danny Medina and Ishmael Paez both ran 8.
Yeah. Elaine Martell, I believe, ran 10 and out at the Camel Tour in Wisconsin. And it was like the quarterfinals, I believe, if I remember. The one Corey Deuel won.
Elaine Martell, his nickname, the Dancing Bear. He was a great big guy.
Did you ever see that shot he made on me? They put it on the internet a lot, where he went to the rail and jumped over the ball. He made He made a really bad rollout. And I'll tell you how bad it was after I shot. That's the only shot he had. He had to go to the rail and jump over the ball, you know. And he made a kiss carom backwards because it hopped off the ball backwards, and then he ran out. Okay, a little tester here saying, let's see what you can do, Lee Vann. Should overcut this, let the one just kind of bank up that side rail and roam the cue ball towards the 3. It's real natural. Got a lot of cover. Speed control is important, though, because filler, you don't want to leave him a shot with the 2 down here as well. I think anything else is a little touchy. Yeah, he's overcut it nicely. He's wanting to get the 1 down further, so he's trying to ignore the cue ball a little bit and did leave a piece. If you hit it thicker a little, Mark, the cue ball's a little slower, right, towards the middle of the end rail, but then you're a little worried about the side pocket on the 1, so. Big shot.
Off his fingertips, back on the rail. How'd he do? Okay. That makes me feel a little better. I would absolutely hate it if he just rolled it in, no problem, every time.
All right. Important here with this cue ball. The 2's out. Can be a little funny. Good thing is the 3's pretty near the pocket. This is going to work nicely. Going to be able to come 1 rail right at the spot between the 5 and 6.
Yeah, I think the shortest route and just cut this in.
Yeah, really, unless you dog the stroke, you're going to be okay.
Right, he can just top spin up. He doesn't even have to introduce side spin. It's just ball speed now.
Yeah, just make sure, like, you know, get through the ball a little bit. You got 5 feet to come up.
Right. So. You'd like to get near the middle.
Oh, he put it inside and trying to get all the way down there.
He got there.
But he threatened. I mean, that was a threat.
That hooked quite a bit. I think it took a little of the pace out of the cue ball. I think he was even sweating it when it got near the side pocket.
Yeah, I mean, it's the point. He's maybe snookered. He could have scratched. He didn't want to float that 3 in from the middle of the table, but really, he's really good at those shots. You know, those little cuts and then coming up for the 4 in the same pocket.
And those are those in-between calls, too. It's kind of the player dependent, and plus he can see the angle better than us, but he felt like he could comfortably get there, and clearly he did because he's a foot away from being hooked.
Yeah, nice shot.
Yeah, coming on the inside, that's the way it tracked out there. Got you to the right angle. Most of us try to get around it. But you're better off to be on this side of the 4, then you don't have to deal with 9 coming up down the road.
Yeah, once Lee Vann's got the shot, he's been awesome.
Throughout the whole tournament. I agree completely.
And, you know, here in this match, there's a couple of mistakes, really just a couple safeties leaked out. He had a dry break. I mean, not really terrible things, especially because they were high-pressure safeties. You know, they weren't easy.
I was calling him Steady Eddie for just that reason. He's not really given back very many games throughout the whole week.
draw it now, I think. Don't think going forward's much of an option.
And this is the stun draw. Just get to the middle of the table, or past it a little bit if you could. Oh, he got way back. Okay. Yeah. Don't get too straight.
Well, you'd like to get more because it makes the 8 so much easier to get on the 9, so you don't want to be too thin on the 7.
100%. Yeah, no, he's sitting perfect here.
Yeah, those shots on the 8 and the side, they're not hard, but they can become kind of goofy a little bit if you don't pay attention to them. And he certainly looked, and I think he can coast by the 10 pretty stress-free. Sometimes you get a little more angle, you're kind of going at the 10 on this cut. Beautiful.
And there he was going at the 10, so.
Yeah.
Very good out. Very solid.
And you can tell Lee Van has plenty of fans.
Corteza, tightening things up. 5 games to 4, heading into rack 10.
I don't have the stats, but I feel like of all the times I broadcast Lee Van's matches, only one time did he not get Final Four in this event.
2 years ago? Was it 2?
Yeah,
I think-
892 to 931. Sorry, Jeremy.
Oh, no worries.
33 balls pocketed for Corteza, 54 for Filler. All right, let's see what happens with this rack. Where's the 9 ball? Right next to the 1. That's the one he makes in the side. Tracking, a little long.
Yeah, he's purposely taking a little speed off.
7 ball, nothing. Pretty wide open layout here. Certainly not easy, though.
Yeah, it's all about the first shot. How's the draw stroke? It really is the draw here with a little speed. Letting it open off the second rail, kind of going at the 7. Don't think top is really... Can he go one rail between the 4-5? Is that too touchy with a little stun, like high stun, straight down the table? I don't think so. I think he's got to draw it.
Yeah, I'm afraid he's just a hint too full on the 1 to get that to easily hook out around.
Yeah.
It's not. If it was up another 7-8 inches, I think he could.
Look at the 3, too. You don't want to get thin on the 2. I mean, the 3 doesn't pass the 6, doesn't pass the 9 on the side. You need to gamble here. So this is low left and let it open off the second rail. Even if you go past the 2 a little, it's okay. Well, he's hitting a high ball. He's trying to go straight down.
And he could.
Yeah, and he hooked it beautifully. He's still got to work, a lot of work to get on the 3. Or it appears so anyways. The 3-9's not bad, though, Mark. Not bad. Not a bad combination.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, just go ahead.
Yeah, just high ball, just go to the rail.
Well, the other choice is extreme inside spin.
Yeah, and that still might go into the 6, which isn't all bad either. You know, bumping the 6 with the high inside. No.
Or you can come up in between the 3 and 6 or bump the 3.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, but you just don't want to miss this ball trying to get cute and get perfect.
He's trying to do more. So he's trying to get across. So this gives him a little elevated.
Where was he trying to get?
Right where he was, I think, or maybe across for the 3 on the side, but that was still dicey to be able to get on the 4. He initially looked at the 3-9. He just didn't want to accept that. I thought that was really the shot.
Okay.
Yeah, for the 3 on the side, I guess.
Well,
He's just got to bury a big one. Again, don't float it. You ain't going to fire it, but make sure you good delivery.
let the cue ball get all the way down.
That's right.
He floated it. He made it. All right, good job. Ooh, good recovery.
He put some confidence in that. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he hits kind of down on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe the cue ball doesn't go quite as far on some of that. Plus, he was jacked up right, a little bit.
Hey, I even feel more confident now.
Yeah, right.
Right?
No, that was really
a great
good.
shot.
And the other good thing is when he did get out of line, he knew he had to shoot it in the corner, right? But he didn't just get down and shoot it immediately. he kind of recovered a little bit, calmed himself down a little, and said, "Okay, I can handle this."
There was no sign of panic.
Exactly.
We saw that in the last match. Saw just a little bit of panic as the score started to slip away from Juszczyszyn. And he tried to force things to happen that weren't there.
He's perfect. Really, just draw stroke quality out here. Ooh. Man, the hooking the cue ball on the 1 into the 2, drawn across over the 10, buries that 3 ball. A little stretch here, not a ton, I don't think. Now he can play for inside to run near this other side pocket off the 8 for the 9. Makes a little cut on the 9 to roll down for the 10.
He must have made his mind up here. 2 rails or 3.
And Mark's talking about the 8 ball, of course.
To get to the 9.
Yeah. Right when you get in position, when you're thinking about all ball fouls, you just never go any further. Once you're comfortable and say, "Oh, I got 4 inches," just hey, I'm done with it. Don't even threaten going any further down.
Well, I think the 3 rail route is better. Yeah, that's what he's kind of measuring up if he goes 3 rails with high ball.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the table's slippery, it kind of expands off that second rail, but now the table's broke in, so probably this route. That way you're always coming into position here. Good shot, good speed.
Yeah,
well done.
He didn't back down one bit. Really good. Can cheat the pocket and come across if he wants.
That was a heady little play
down.
there. It was so subtle, it just looks like the cue ball, but he played for this all the way, so it just goes right up to the 10 here, no problem. This will tie the score, and VANN will have the break. And this is every bit of what we expected and hoped to see. What a gunfight.
After 10 racks, we are all tied up 5-5 in the championship.
This is the sport of pool that we're watching as opposed to the game of pool. Game of pool is played on, generally in 7-foot tables with the handicaps and guys that argue over their handicaps. And handicap management is the skill, and there's no athleticism. And the attitude is, it's just about money or whatever it might be, glory for yourself. Where the sport of pool comes down to the culture of your athlete to have a long-term, sustainable winning program. And it's people that respect the sport in such a way that the sport is more important than the individual. They train like athletes, focus. This is not the game of pool we're watching here. This is different as chess is to checkers. Okay, VANN would not mind being productive here from the break. 6 ball short, 9 ball short, 3 ball long. 1 ball straight in front of the cue ball. He's disappointed for sure.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I think this is my 3rd year of being, kind of full time with y'all here with the Bigfoot. I think, right? My 3rd. I think.
Yeah, you're almost qualified for the pension plan.
Oh no, no one told me about that. But it's been the template all 3 years I was here in the booth, and I think this has been the most stingy year on the break I've seen. Considering a template. I don't know what you can add to that, or if you can even reflect back and remember. But
I probably agree, but also not every year did we use 4 1/4 inch pockets, which I think does have some bearing on it. But
Sure. Some of them ones have hit corners and sides and rattled a little bit. But usually these guys can certainly repeat the rack with the the quality from Outsville and all their knowledge. Those guys making sure that the balls are good.
Yes, brand new sets.
They can repeat the break somewhat. It's impossible, I think, to totally repeat it. But might get lucky, I guess. But it's definitely been a little bit here and there for every player as well, right?
Yeah. I kind of like it.
Oh,
frankly.
yeah.
You get a little more play, a little more.
Absolutely, yeah. 10 ball, 10 ball, if they're just reining in, that one's over the corner a lot. And, we don't get to see both guys as much. All right, don't let up. Make sure you dig on it. That way it doesn't get away. Oh, he dug on it too much.
He knows this guy tough.
Yeah, and mainly because the stretch as well, and he may have to apply a lot of inside here, Mark, and go around it, the 7-3 rail. What you were going to say?
No, the one guy that would still break great is Shane Van Boening. He'd be reining in 2 or 3 balls because he gets those extra rails of ball distance travel. His break.
It's almost like when he was playing his best pool, and
He overcut that by a good bit. It barely wobbled in, and that's why he clipped the 7 there. He was planning on hitting it a little bit fuller and not clipping the 7 quite as hard.
tough safety. It's just going to be a rail-to-rail kind of thing here. And hard to get a snooker, I'll tell you that.
Okay, just let him play end rail to end rail.
And you got to take a chance at coming around behind these balls, don't you? I know there's some gaps.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Travel the cue ball 3 rails down below where it's at now, but closer to the 8, 10, 9.
Yeah, and the 7 will travel a piece. I mean, it's going to get close to the middle of the table, a little above the head string.
That's
but
right.
I think you got to gamble there, unless you're going to kick behind this, maybe. I don't know. But he's not cutting it, is he? He used to cut the ball so good. I mean, it was incredible how well he did.
Wow, he overcut it.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I used to, at Pat's tournament mainly is where I really witnessed it so many times with Lee Van cutting balls in at the
He overcut it.
in the U.S. Open, of course.
So the answer is yes, he was trying to cut it. Wow, what a nice hit that was.
Yeah, and in Lee Van's defense, some might think that's crazy, but I mean, he was really just excelled, one of the best at it. Plus, the situation was difficult anyways.
Right. You hate to sell out playing a phony safety where you leave the gap and then filler just runs out. And so I'm not going to fault him. If you can hit it where your head's so thin you overcut it, I'm all good with it.
Yeah, and filler will make you feel like more safeties are phony than they really are.
Yeah. If you just bludgeon it straight into the end rail, then I think, well, maybe you should have played safe.
Yeah, that's when others will say, I promise, Mark, I usually hit that one get better.
I always make that. That's what I hear. Well, you didn't, so you don't always.
All right. Been a strange match. I mean, not strange, great match, but a strange in regard. I'd like to see what the stats are on the breaker and how many games they've won. It seems like you're breaking for the other player. I mean,
yeah,
a little bit. I mean, the way this match has unfolded so far, now that can change.
Years ago, when you were not probably on the tour, Pat Fleming discovered that on certain equipment, the break was a disadvantage mathematically.
He deferred. I was there.
Okay, yeah. And I remember he gave Nick Varner the break, and Nick was like, what? I can't believe it. And then Nick would try harder than break, not make anything. Pat would run out and say, go ahead and break.
It might have. I wasn't
like a shark.
I think 95 is when I started to come watch some of the big tournaments, pro tournaments. I played in the U.S. Open in 95, my first one. I went to go watch, but I ended up playing. But that's the first time I think I saw Pat defer the break. And I was shaking my head a little bit. But and then in 96 and 97, I definitely saw it, with those tough break box rules, and the pockets were very difficult, too, on the Camel Tour as a whole.
None of us had ever even conceived of doing it. I still didn't have the courage to do it because I just think, I'm going to feel so stupid. If he breaks and runs out, if he breaks and makes a 9, I'm going to be so mad at myself. So even though I knew the math wasn't right and Pat was right, I still couldn't make myself do it. Look at this. That is a tremendous shot.
Good. Yeah, I wonder, if you're getting put in the tournament, you can tell the guy, put you in, hey, I'm going to defer the break. He's like, what'd you say?
Yeah.
What game were you playing? Straight pull, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I mean, would you have the courage at Hill and to give up the break? Would you have the courage?
No.
I wouldn't.
Well, I mean, the thing about it is you ain't got to keep giving it up, right? If
No.
he sees it's not working.
Right.
Yeah. But I did see it many times.
Okay. Well, you're older than I thought then.
Yeah. Started playing the PBT in '96. And then the Camel Tour course up until '99. He fell straight here, so he's got the 8-ball to have some concern. He's got to draw past the 8 to get a real nice shot.
You got to make a long draw to a narrow window. That's what this boils down to.
I don't know. He may end up not doing that. He
I
may end up
don't
drawing
blame
back and taking the cut.
Yeah, I don't blame him at all if he doesn't try to draw past the 8. Looks like he's going to.
Draw back where it's at now.
Pretty shot. Nice timing. All right. He earned that. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is a big rack, too. Those shots are so taxing that finally when you get to the routine one and then it's a 5x10, if you even just take a molecule off of your focus, you can miss balls like that on this.
Yeah, I think I know the first 2 days I kind of made sure I paid attention to it, but most misses were overcuts, and I don't know if there's something to that with these guys, but I know the first day or two, newer felt, that made a little more sense to me, some of those overcuts. But speaking of thin, this is going to get real thin.
Well, and then plus he hit the ball heavy, so we know he used the wrong speed because when you hit it heavy, it takes more of the pace out of the cue ball to hit it.
I think he was trying to come above.
Oh, well then,
that's
that
why
makes sense.
That's why the line is wrong too. When he hit it heavy, it came more towards the center versus straight up. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah, and that's that stretch again that you tend to not maybe have as much on the ball naturally, I think. But he can't cut it. I think he's going to stay away from spinning it though. Well, I don't know. He's on the right part of the ball a little bit. I kind of like just flat cutting it, coming 3 rails right across where the cue ball's at now. Oh, now he's going the other way. Big shot.
Wow. Oh, he did square. Now he's got still more cut, but he can do this. This actually plays a little easier than the one that he just passed up.
And it's another shot he's always excelled at. Really, any of those thin cuts, side pocket or corner. Really picks good lines with the cue ball.
That last shot was just tremendous. That was not an easy shot.
And it tells me he's still really calm.
Look at it. Oh, I thought he had it.
He kind of stunned it a little instead of just more high, He kind of came off. Unless it kicked a little. Did it kick a little? Like skid?
Well, I'll say it did just for his benefit. But
it might have. It might have.
Yeah, it might have. Yeah. We'll never know. Oh, nice. Checked it up with a little inside. Good control. Well, he got a little thin.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's had a few of these shots thin that didn't go correct. So he's going to have to bump the 10 here.
Yeah, just roll it with a no, he's
got to go high he's got to go high with the hair right.
Yeah, and just try to rub the 10 over by the rail.
Yeah, it's fine. It'll get it.
Well, even if you don't come out with it perfect, you can still do something.
No, he'll have a shot.
Okay.
He'll have a shot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Look at the face. He's like, thank
Glad
you,
that's over
please.
Yeah. Where's the bridge? After he beat Gorst, he beat on his chest, and my friends, they were quite offended. Try to act like you've been here before. This isn't the Moscone Cup or anything.
I might have to hustle. I think I can't see if he has an extension or not.
No, he does not have an extension. 2-1. He got there.
Yeah.
Okay. I think when you're down shooting, I don't think they call a foul. It's just you think.
Gotcha.
Anyway, 7-5 is our score.
Talk about it. Got a little out of line on that first shot. I tell you, I thought he was the way he shot the 6, I'm like, okay, Levan's still real calm. He didn't force it with a lot of speed. He just smoothed it right on in. Did not expect that miss on the 8. Here's our TBAs, 865 going down a little bit for Levan.
Well, it all started when he hit the object ball heavy into the pocket, didn't get down table. Yeah, the rack track, it's just 1s and 2s all the way along the way.
That's been the break, right? I mean, the break, it is alternate break anyways, but
it's just
not a lot of break and runs.
One apiece. Matter of fact, 1 break and run apiece. Yeah, looking back, that's going to be the rack that you'll look back on because it's a 2-game swing anyway. So
You might put a little extra. Don't lose the cue ball.
no, right.
Oh, you hit it sweet. Man, this
But
table's
nothing.
stingy.
8, no.
And a cut on the 1.
Just almost none of the 4-railers are going. I don't recall if it happened. It was almost just once or twice throughout the week, right?
Yeah, and, the only thing I can think of is, we had some precipitation the first day heavy, right, with the rain and then the snow, and it's been real dry ever since. So maybe just nothing's getting really sticky in the room, and they're just spreading a little more. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, no, in the wintertime in the Midwest, it's pretty damn dry. So
Yeah. Oh, I can feel it for sure. All right, middle of the table open.
that rubbed the 9, got the cue ball pretty good there.
Yeah, the way he acted, he was trying to go into a ball to hold. Kind of bobbed his head at that 9 ball as the cue ball went by. Now, these are really set up nicely.
Somehow, noticeably, he's picked up his pace around the table. I used to get a kick out of it. He'd run out, then he'd race to his chair like something was going to happen real fast before the referee racked him.
Well, I almost feel like Josh sometimes because he does play a ton of pool, and of course the Derby, that's what it's all about. But he's been playing all day. I think he gets his adrenaline going again a little bit by picking up the speed, So maybe shake a little fatigue. Because I travel with the commentary some, and have done a lot in the last couple of years. But I can't imagine what these players are doing. They're globetrotting like
Right.
almost no other sport, really.
Well, even us just walking down from the room, you picked up your pace quite a bit and got about 20 feet ahead of me a couple times. So
Yeah.
you were really going.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I always walk fast. I don't know what it is, but trying to get to the chow line, I think. But when I was a kid. All right. But, yeah, you can't imagine. I think that's another reason why the fans are so much in love with these players and respect them, all the hard work and travel. Oh, nice stroke there. And went ahead and decided to keep the angle. Don't come back anymore. Nice and heavy on the 8 will do.
That'd be great. That's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be just fine. Like really perfect.
Now when he stops the ball, it trickles to its left, leaves a little angle. He's going to examine him, make sure. Back the cue ball up about 8 inches there, and that gave him a little bit bigger angle, so it easily leaves the cushion here.
And I don't recall a 3-game lead in this match. Maybe it was 5-2 at one time, but I think it wasn't. So our first 3-game lead, possibly.
Yeah, very nice.
Inching closer to the finish line. For the Bigfoot Championship. Right after the match.
Well, Mark, I play a lot of different games. I sure have enjoyed it here this first 4 days, working with you with this Bigfoot and all these players, and of course everyone else that you don't see or hear from at the ACCUSTATS crew and the Derby City people. But I am anticipating seeing and loving to see some Banks in one pocket here the next few days.
Oh, yeah.
Banks is one. Banks, you could take, your average Joe, your neighbor, and just let them watch a couple of the great bankers, and they'll be like, wow. They would want to watch more of that. I mean, you don't have to explain much.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you can see the awesomeness right away. So,
Right.
TPAs on the braking performance, the BPA. Corteza, you can see it down there. We talked about at the beginning. And Josh, of course, only at 500, but I think Corteza kind of needed that to be a little higher. And hopefully it'll improve as this match carries on. Watch the 3-1 rail as well. That one's been getting kissed about the head string.
8 balls tracking down.
See the 3 get kissed right there? It was tracking towards that corner as well. That one railer that Shane makes a lot. Shane makes it with so much pace, though. It's amazing.
It is.
Like it'll hit a diamond away and slide up the rail. It's got so much pace.
I've witnessed it. Sometimes it goes in there like a bullet.
Yeah.
Just thinking, how much fun would it be to have that type of power?
Yeah, he's got to cut this a little bit. So throw it to kill the cue ball. So you want to use the right here and the low to draw behind the 4-7 as the one goes up table. He's gotten so good at that shot. And the key. Oh, sorry, Mark. Go ahead.
You see how much he cut that ball to get the pace. He played the cue ball more than the one, and make sure he got it over there. Sometimes I try to be too cute with the one and get it down there, and then my cue ball sticks out there, and then he can defend himself where he got it. He has to kick. Now there is no defense. It's just gasping for air trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, he's got to bend this.
Oh, nice shot.
What a hit. Thank you.
Nice shot. Look where it's stuck up there. It's still spinning. Josh is smiling. He loves it.
Well, that first shot, I was still going. That first shot that Josh played, the key to that is understand the outside will do its job. Don't let up on the stroke. You can see the one had more pace and the cue ball dove, but it really killed because he wasn't trying to really guide it or baby it.
Yeah, good insight there.
I tell you what, can he do something making the 10 and spot this? This is ugly here. I don't know if
I like that idea.
Yeah, you want to kick at this because the second foul can be devastating as well, or the run out. But I might try and tie up the 10 with the 5 by pocketing the 10 right here. Only because how treacherous this shot is at the first one.
Right.
Curve, so good chance he comes underneath it. He's trying to hit it on the way in. And easy to miss it because the softness of having to curve around the 5 will lengthen off this first rail.
Might not get a rail.
Oh, man, how good is this guy playing?
Wow.
How good's he playing?
Incredible.
Man, go ahead, Mark. We're at an 8-5 clip, right? But still, it's been an incredible final.
Yeah.
Just the shots.
Man, even Lee Van even got they're smiling at each other after Lee Van's great kick he made. And then look at this shot, the highlight reel stuff. Perfect speed, trickles in there.
Yeah, it's kind of like Apollo Creed and Rocky looking at each other in the 13th round. Are we going to keep doing this?
Man.
2 rails, right? You got to go 2 at this. Where's Chalk's at right now, his hand? Can't get much pace on this going that way. All right, he's going to try and kick the 1 underneath the 4-7, just lightly hitting it full. Got it thin.
Okay, well,
yeah,
that good Massey safe, kick hit earned him a good opportunity here.
But again, he's going to win another game with something other than knocking in a big shot. And
you called it before the match even started. That aspect of his game has improved tremendously.
Yeah, and it's easy maybe to give up on that when you're still trying to improve it. If things go awry, right?
Yeah.
So, because we're all human, that's for sure. Okay, he's got to make a decision on the 4, come across, most likely, because he can't really reach if he tries to get straight in. So he's just going to come across. Probably plays from above the side, unless he lets it spread 2 rails. You know the shot that everyone's been shooting? Because the 5 does pass the 6. Doesn't have to lay up here if he doesn't want. Yeah, that's what he's shooting. Let it spread. Never hit it hard enough to get to the side.
That plays easier, doesn't it? Then
Yeah,
you
because
picked
you
up
let
probably
your stroke
another
out. Yeah.
little 5 to 7% easier for sure, and that aids your consistency rate. Anything could possibly work, but how often? Soft on his speed here. Oh, he's going to be disappointed with that effort.
A little similar to the 4 he missed. A little bit. Not much. A little thinner, but. Yeah, and, the main thing is, remember, it's all about what holds up under pressure, not what you do in practice. And that's where, practice you can get stroke doing a lot of things in practice, but, the way he released it 2 rails, that holds up under pressure a lot more, that type of swing. Nice shot.
Good shot. Yeah, confident strike. A little straight here. He can play it in the side. He's looking at the side.
Oh, yeah, there ain't much cheating here anyways, so he can get a little bit, but not much.
He might be going rail first. No, ball first.
He's good.
He got there.
He's good to get to the hill, to get to 9. Straight through, it looks like.
That's a great pool. That exchange of safeties there. Wow, another incredible rack.
9-5. So we head into rack 15.
The kick that Levan made stuck him up. I mean, who's going to ever escape from where Levan left him?
Oh, yeah.
Right? We could watch a lot of pool. And
you and one of our heroes, he does it occasionally. Not as much anymore because he's retired, but Efren, he's unbelievable with that Massey stuff. But he hit it perfect. Exactly. He had to have it bend right before the side. If it bent early, it's going to go long, and he's not going to get a rail if he comes behind it.
Yeah.
So hit it at the right speed to hold behind those 2 balls.
7 airs, 92 balls pocketed on a 4 1/4 inch 5x10 for filler. 929 clip. Six balls short.
Yeah.
It's just like his brake power just isn't as strong as Filler's.
Oh, yeah, and that's a big deal because, Filler makes the one in that corner sometimes because it has more pace. He makes it just 2 or 3 sometimes, So
yeah,
it's almost like one of the most impressive things I've ever seen. I've seen it twice by 2 different guys. Is that tournament in Iowa, in Des Moines, at the Big Dog. Well, that's a tough tournament. It's usually a ranking event of some sort. It always carries a lot of great players. And I watched Shane McMahon win it one year, and it was a slew of great players. Shane John Lee, Russia Chinahoff, SVB, everybody's there, Skyler. And he broke from the end rail 10 ball and only made a ball in the break, 1 ball each time. And then Corey Dool did the same exact thing. Broke from the end rail, the real light break, just made 1 ball. That's all he ever made. So he had to work way harder in both of those events, but it was so impressive to see him overcome those big breakers. But it's just not going to happen very often, right?
right.
All right, probably wants to stay between. If he can't get to the side rail, he probably wants to stay between the 6-8. He never lets up there. He never lets it wander, the cue ball.
But we've seen it all this week with Corey Dool breaking with the bridge and all these tactical games, the power breaker.
Who was it the first round? The first time that one of them broke, they flew it off the table. Then the very next person, the first time they broke, they flew it off the table.
Yeah,
back to back.
It was
our first day.
Yeah, it was
Fedor,
Gorst,
right? Yeah.
Gorst and Shaw.
That's right. How often do you see that from those guys?
No.
Once a year? Once every 2 years? And then they did it back to back the first 2 breaks of the match. All right, coming back for the side. The 8's kind of in no man's land, and he's straight. So he doesn't want to draw on top of it, so he's trying to get past it.
Went too far. Oh, no, he wanted to get past
Yeah.
it. Oh, I like it. Yeah, that way you're not in a narrow position window.
Yeah, it's like no position,
I
no
see.
position,
Right,
position, no
right.
position, yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, a little spin to improve it, maybe. Yeah. And again, he's just one of those guys that doesn't lose in the finals very often. He's not afraid of the moment.
He's always been a great player and still getting better.
And hats off to Van. Another incredible run here at the Bigfoot. He played his tail off, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Okay, Van recognized it. A lot of camaraderie there. These guys playing all around the world together. And this is the shot right here Van setting up. Remember I said that was probably, that would have tied the score, I believe.
He's shooting it with just a high ball now. No, he did put it right again. But he would have come on top of the 9 or straight high, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, incredible to work with you, Mark. Can't wait to do some more tomorrow. Thanks to all the fans. I'll let Mark close it out.
Tremendous performance here by Joshua Filler, 26 years old. He's won this event now twice. Well, this has been another edition of World Class Pool from ACCUSTATS. That concludes our broadcast day. Please join us again soon. So long for just a while.